Check, check, check. Even the announcer has to have a check. Well, I'm Francis Collins. I am the youngest of the four sons of Margaret and Fletcher Collins, who 35 years ago started this festival along with their friends Robin and Linda Williams, who you will be hearing from this evening. And it's my great privilege to introduce this motley crew here that you've been hearing do their sound check for the last 3.5 hours. And I'm sort of thinking back here, 49 years ago, I think, at the beginning of the school year at Robert E. Lee High, I showed up in homeroom, and there was a new kid who just come to town, who was assigned to the desk in front of me, maybe because his last name and mine kind of start with the same letter, I guess. History could be very different if it were otherwise. And his name was Mark Chevalier. And we discovered that we both had an interest, but not much competence in music, and we should do something about the latter in order to pursue the former. And as part of that, his father, long-suffering fellow that he was, drove us to Washington so that we could both purchase our first guitars. Mark chose wisely, a lovely Gibson. I chose a guitar that I have suppressed the name of because the action was so high on that fretboard that you could not produce any chord at all, not even an E minor, without drawing blood. But persistence was important. And off we went to the University of Virginia, and ultimately we ended up being roommates. And I think there was some jeopardy in terms of whether anybody was actually going to leave the University of Virginia with a degree, because a lot of the time was spent not studying for classes, but actually playing those Doc Watson records on the LP, except playing them at 16 2/3 instead of 33 1/3, so you could actually figure out what the heck Doc was doing. And Mark figured it out, and you'll hear some of that here shortly. So off we went our separate ways, and a little while after that, Mark, landing in the southern tier of New York, started this band, the Diamondback Rattlers, who have now been at this, I gather from their website, unless they're lying, for 36 years. Woo! And they just keep getting better and better, and it is a great thrill to have them here as part of this year's music festival. And so, let me introduce, on the bass, the newest arrival here, Ken Van Etten, who's still trying to figure out a few of those licks that he just got told about last week. On the banjo, Roy Matthews, who's been with the group from the get-go. And on the fiddle, the guy who I love most to sit next to in a music jam session, Dean Goebel. And lead guitar, my friend over all these 49 years, Mark Chevalier. Please give a warm welcome to the Diamondback Rattlers.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We'd like to thank the local kid for the nice introduction. The guitar was a Kent, Francis. And you made it sound really good, if I recall. We are going to be playing little bits of everything. That's been our formula for all of these years, to drag whatever music we could find kicking and screaming into the Rattler formula. And this is one that Paul Simon actually wrote back when he was playing with Bill Monroe. And we recorded it in the late 70s. It's called Cecilia.
Oh, Cecilia, I'm down on my knees, begging you please to come home. Come on home. Making love in the afternoon with Cecilia up in my bedroom. Making love. I got up to wash my face. When I come back to bed, someone's taking my place. Cecilia, you're breaking my heart, you're shaking my confidence daily. Oh, Cecilia, I'm down on my knees, I'm begging you please to come home. Jubilation, she loves me again. I fall on the floor and I laugh. Jubilation, she loves me again. I fall on the floor and I laugh. Cecilia, you're breaking my heart, you're shaking my confidence daily. Oh, Cecilia, I'm down on my knees, begging you please to come home.
Thank you very much. Some less than authentic bluegrass music there. And on that note, we would like to rekindle a tune that we love doing. Not too many years ago, we had a governor in the state of New York where we live. His name was Pataki. And it wasn't good for much, but he had that great name, Pataki. And we were looking for just the right person to use in a rehash of an old Spike Jones tune. So it had all that same feel that Beetlebomb did, the original. So we used it and had a lot of fun with it. But then he went and got another job, and his successors have had mundane, well, Spitzer was possible. But we really couldn't do much with that. But we were heading down this way, and we see that you have a gubernatorial candidate. A name that has a je ne sais quoi. So, for the first time since George retired, we'll do this. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the running of the 12th Annual Freakness. This is your host, Kenny Bunkport, calling the race for you this afternoon. It's a beautiful day for a race. We have all sorts of great horses over there getting ready. I think I see Apartment House, I see Bubblegum, being ridden by those two great jockeys, Willie Make It and Betty Don't. All of them great, wonderful horses, with a possible exception of that one 50-to-1 nag, Cuccinelli. I think I see him coming right between those other two horses, Nature's Way and Lost Appeal. Well, they're coming up now to the gate. It looks like we're going to have the beginning of the race, and there they go. And coming into the first turn, why, it's Hood Ornament out in front. Budweiser leading a pack of 6. Siamese twins running neck and neck with itself, and mother-in-law nagging from the rear. Way back over at the starting gate, seemingly oblivious to the fact that the race has in fact started, Cuccinelli. At the half, it's bubblegum sticking to the rail, cabbages ahead by a head, bananas slipping, and steaming cow pie has plopped down in the middle of the track. And at approximately 288 lengths behind, and friends, that's too gross to me, Cuccinelli. Oh, they're coming into the far turn now. It's apartment house with plenty of room. Tomatoes trying to catch up. Girdles coming up the stretch. Toilet paper coming up the rear, and no sign of Cuccinelli. Well, they're coming into the wire now. There's apartment house, there's Budweiser, there's apartment house, there's Budweiser. Looks like it's going to be a photo finish, perhaps an oil painting, who knows. And the winner is
Cuccinelli.
very much. Good luck with that, folks. Whatever happens there. We're going to inject an actual bluegrass tune here, that Flatten's Crows tune that been playing since the beginning, and we have to keep that minimum ratio, right, of the real stuff.
Yes.
Perfect.
10%, right?
10%. 10% unmodified, perhaps. I'll Never Love Another.
I'll never love another now that you've gone away and left me here to grieve here all alone. It seems I always lose my dear, no matter how I try. I'll never love another until the day I die. I'll never love another now that you proved untrue. Without your loving, darling, what am I to do? I spent my life for you, dear, and now you've left me blue. I'll never love another if I can't have you. Now you don't know the heartaches that you caused me to bear, or you would never stole my love from me. I'll have to live my life alone and think of days gone by. I'll never love another until the day I die. My castle now has tumbled that I had built for two, and all my dreams have vanished, dear, with you. I'll have to live my life alone and think of days gone by. I'll never love another until the day I die. I'll never love another now that you've proved untrue. Without your loving, darling, what am I to do? I spent my life for you, dear, and now you've left me blue. I'll never love another if I can't have you. I'll never love another if I can't have you.
Brings me to tears. We're going to feature our fiddler here and play a tune.
Really?
Yeah, really. Tis the mandatory time. Yeah, this is a tune that is popular in a lot of different musics. It's fun to kind of imagine that instead of being here, that you're actually somewhere, let's say, in the Loire Valley, and you're sitting around a campfire, and there are all of these musicians who live in caravans, and they're playing fiddles, and they're playing guitars, and they're playing basses, and it's this rich, vibrant music. And then all of a sudden, this banjo player shows up for some reason, parked in an RV that says Scruggs Rules.
May we?
It might sound something like this. That's minor swing. We're going to change a couple of things around here for a few tunes. As Francis said, this fellow right here to my left is our newest rattler. He joined us this year and has been absorbing 35 years of all sorts of malarkey. But he and I have been playing together as the Barley Boys whenever someone didn't want the entire band. And we've been doing that since, what, 2000 or so? And he, if you were here for today's workshop, you already know I carry a guitar case to a job and he uses a U-Haul because he has a lot of debris. Stuff. That's stuff. So what's it going to be right here?
Well, I'm going to play a tune on a coffee pot here. Those of you who are at the workshop this morning, you've already seen this. You can leave at this point. This is... I'm out of here. It's not just any coffee pot. This is the Stradivarius of coffee pots, the Miromatic Drippolator. And you watch Antiques Roadshow, it's the same thing. You have to turn the thing over and look at the bottom. And if you turn over a coffee pot and on the bottom it says Drippolator makes healthful coffee, you have yourself a great instrument. So you need the Drippolator, you need the lid, and you need a mouthpiece of some kind. I use a tuba mouthpiece. A lot of people have tuba mouthpieces around the house. And you put the mouthpiece in the spout of the Miromatic Drippolator. You get the band to start vamping on a G chord. This tempo is way too slow. They always do this to me, so we need to turn the tempo up just a bit. Won't you come home, Pearl Bailey? Won't you come home? I've waited all day long. I'll do the cooking, honey. I'll pay the rent. I know I done you wrong. Remember that rainy evening I threw you out with nothing but a fine-tooth comb. I know I'm to blame. Ain't that a shame? Pearl Bailey, won't you please come home? Mr. Dean Noble on the fiddle.
And while we got Roy on the bass, we're going to get Ken to play a banjo tune. We now have multiple banjos in the band.
Yeah. One person said, yeah.
Everybody else went, what he plays.
I'm going to do a tune by Uncle Dave Macon, and it's a tune about every man's fantasy, falling in love with a woman who has money. I'm just as fond of beauty as anyone could be. Those rosy-cheeked and pearly teeth I'd dearly love to see. I know someone who has them, now listen, wouldn't you? She is the sweetest girlie and she's got the money too. Now won't I love my honey, and won't I spend her money? I'm as happy as a flower that seems to fall anew. For I know a little girlie and she's got the money too. She takes me out a riding whenever I come down. She's got the biggest Cadillacs and Buicks in the town. I told her that I loved her, she said she did too. She is the sweetest girlie and she's got the money too. Now won't I love my honey, and won't I spend her money? I'm as happy as a flower that seems to fall in dew. For I know a little girlie and she's got the money too. I popped to her the question if she would be my bride. She said, "You is the sweetest boy who ever lived or died." I told her that I meant it. She said she did too. She is the sweetest girlie and she's got the money too. Now won't I love my honey, and won't I spend her money? I'm as happy as a flower that seems to fall in dew. For I know a little girlie and she's got the money too. Now won't I love my honey, and won't I spend her money? I'm as happy as a flower that seems to fall in dew. For I know a little girlie and she's got the money too. Thank you.
I think we might have been over-ambitious of how much we were going to play. So we're going to swap a couple things around. And it's great being a new bass player and having us throw things at him. He has done such an amazing job. There was no rhyme or reason to most of what we assembled in 36 years.
Hey, Mark.
Yo,
Knock, knock.
who's there, Roy?
Whoa.
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 Woo? Woohoo.
I know, I feel the same way. Woohoo! Not from the peanut gallery.
This is a tune that, another one I think we recorded this back in the 90s, and gives everybody a chance to sing a little bit together again. You ready? This is called Dixieland.
Dixieland, I hear you calling me, where the fields of count the water snow. Dixieland, the boats are shoveling steam, people riding on that Dixie Queen, carrying a sweat across the Mason-Dixon line, where the fields of count the water play. The sound of Dixieland ringing in the trees, they're the only home for me. Dixieland, I hear you calling me, where the fields of cotton water snow. Dixieland, the boats are shoveling steam, people riding on that Dixie Queen. Carrying his way across the Mason-Dixon line, where the fields of cotton water and clay. The sound of Dixieland ringing in the trees is the only home for me. Dixieland, I hear you calling me, where the fields of cotton water snow. Dixieland, the boats are shoveling steam, people riding on that Dixie Queen. Dixieland, I hear you calling me, where the fields of count water snow. Dixieland, the boats are shoveling steam, people riding on that Dixie Queen. Dixieland, I hear you calling me, where the fields of cotton water snow. Dixieland, the boats are shoveling steam, people riding on that Dixie Queen. People riding on that Dixie Queen.
Thank you, folks. We got time for a couple more, so we're going to put in a commercial here. You can't be a bluegrass band without some sort of sponsor. And ours are the good people up at Motel 4. You know, if you're out traveling and you reach down in your pocket and there just doesn't seem to be as much as you thought might be there, you might want to give some active consideration to the folks at Motel 4, where, of course, quality is not an option at Motel 4. You know, there's bluegrass groups, and there's bluegrass groups. Hi, this is Tim Murdoch from Motel 4, saying how very proud we are to be sponsoring a fine band like the Diamondback Rattlers. Now, you're probably wondering, why would a motel chain spread across almost 2 states sponsor a band like the Rattlers? Well, it's because we're so much alike. And to help you see that, we've prepared a list of the top 10 reasons motel is like the Diamondbacks. Here goes. Number 10, you might search for something less expensive, but in neither case will you find anything cheaper. Number 9, they're both equally unfamiliar with indoor plumbing. Number 8, why they, what is number 8? If you look at the letters of their name, Mark, Dean, Roy, and Ken, why, it's the same as our new motto, run down to the motel, Ken. And the number 2 reason, they both have trouble counting backwards from 10. And the number 1 reason, stare at either one long enough and you might detect there's a little light on.
Well, we'll have to explain that.
One last swap of instruments here. This gives us a lot of
Keep us guessing, Mark. Keep us guessing.
the first fiddler I ever met was Fletcher Collins. And one of the first tunes I ever heard him play was this one. And it's a blast to be able to play this at the Oak Grove with the Rattlers. It's a Revolutionary War era tune. Kenny's going to play for you, Soldier's Joy.
Are you ready, Uncle Roy? We're ready. Hit it, Kenny. Help me out. Yeah, we'll give you another one.
Thank you. 2 more, she says. Well, we can do 2 more. Let's do a train tune. Bluegrass bands like train tunes, and this is one that we've been doing for a few years. That has a nice minor feel to it. Let's try to make sure that we have this plugged in.
And turned on.
And turned on. I knew there was 2 things.
I didn't mind it, actually.
This is why the band has lasted as long as it has.
Well,
good to go?
Good to go.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hear the wheels turning underneath my feet. Pull my shade down on my window seat. Really where I'm going is better than where I've been. Then a stranger sits down as if he's right at home, touches me and says, I see you traveling alone. And by the way, son, you forgot to say amen. He said, I think there's something here I need to explain. Try to talk to everyone riding this train. Some of them listen, most don't pay me no mind. And the train keeps rolling, and the world keeps turning. All aboard, everybody's gotta get on board. See that lady over there sitting across the aisle, briefcase open now 90 miles. She never even noticed that leg back before Horseshoe Bend. And a couple of kids in the front of the car, fussing all the way about some cookie jar. Gonna ask them what they saw, what their journey's in. And there's a fellow while they're sitting in the back, keeps a smile on his face through the paper sack. Looking out the window, but he can't see past the bay. And the train keeps rolling, and the world keeps turning. All aboard, everybody's gotta get on board. Then the train slows down unexpectedly. I raise my blind, it slaps my knee. This is my stop, son, but you won't be traveling alone. Then I look out the window to wave him goodbye. There's nobody there, just a light in the sky. I'm losing my breath and my blood runs cold as stone. Then I feel the wheels turning underneath my feet. Life looks different from my window seat. Know where I'm going is better than where I've been. And the train keeps rolling, and the world keeps turning. All aboard, everybody's gotta get on board. I can feel the wheels turning underneath my feet.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We're going to do an a cappella tune to finish up the set. Appreciate you all listening to us this afternoon. It's a blast for us. We sang this about 10:30 last night at the Oaks. Sounded wonderful. Anybody who knows this, feel free to sing along.
Yeah, help me out.
It's a hymn written by William Cooper a few hundred years ago. There is a fountain filled with blood.
There is a fountain filled with blood. drawn from Emmanuel's veins, and sinners plunged beneath that flood, lose all their guilty stains. The dying thief rejoiced to see that fountain in his day. And there have I, the vile as he, washed all my sins away. Then in a nobler, sweeter song, I'll sing thy power to save. When this poor lisping, stammering tongue lies silent in the grave, lies silent in the grave, lies silent in the grave. When this poor lisping, stammering tongue lies silent